Hello everyone, welcome to another video. I am bringing you the Scorpio Solar Eclipse, which is happening at 2 degrees on the 25th of October. So it will definitely affect the late degree of the cardinal signs, which is Libra, Capricorn, Aries and Cancer. And if you are early degrees of the mutable, which is October, Scorpio, January, Aquarius, April, Taurus, and July, Leos, you definitely will be feeling this because it's at 2 degrees. So, and this Scorpio is double, triple emotional Scorpio. It does show us that it is be very Scorpionic. A lot of planets are in Scorpio as we speak anyway. And this is a time where, because it's double, where it's going to be so intense, so passionate. There's not too much mad, crazy energy, but some of us may feel it, some of us may not, especially Cancer, because Cancer, you're ruled by the moon, so you may feel this much more intensely. But this is going to be this, because it actually feels like a brand new beginning. I feel that a lot of us will feel very mentally and have a sort of like a deeper mental understanding of what is going on. Especially if you are doing anything concerning like joint finances, research, anything to do with working through any deep dark depths. This will bring a lot of us being very astute, very shrewd, very determined as well. I also feel, because even when I read up about this, and even when I was feeling this as well, because we've not seen this one for a while. If you know about that, the decans of the zodiac, it can, Scorpions in general, they can be very competitive. Remember, they're traditionally ruled by Mars, so they can be very competitive. But what I see as well is that there may be a bit more honesty in our dealings. We'll be a bit more daring as well. And I feel there's going to be like a stronger sense of deeper commitment. And, because I feel that any type of honesty, because it feels like everything is really on show with this Scorpio solar eclipse. And if you're not honest, there can be a bit of a come down. Because Scorpio, like Pisces, deals with karma. Remember, it's Pluto we're dealing with. And Scorpio is the second psychic sign after Pisces. They just know how to be more consistent with it. But also, if they go to like the other deep side or darker side, where it's jealousy and, being bad mind, all of that, that can actually bring them down. So I feel that during this time, and also because we have this but it's like more like it conjuncts Venus. This is going to make us feel even more intense and more passionate, and hopefully more honest as well. Like I said before, a lot of things are on the world stage at the moment. So try to be as honest as you can. It could be of your greatest benefit instead of trying to be dishonest. I'm trying to be, I feel some of us may even want to just like not necessarily let things go. Because remember, Scorpion's a sign that is very fixed. It's fixed water. So emotionally, it's very fixed. It's very fixed on, if it's fixed on something, someone, even when it comes to finances, fixed on trauma, because it can really hold trauma. I feel that some of us maybe be willing to work with that to transform ourselves. It may not be necessarily letting go completely, but it's more to do with working through it, being like a work in progress. But also, because the Venus is to do with relationships as well, it's, relationships can definitely come to like the fore. Some of us could feel that like past relationships, past issues with relationships could be brought up, or even current relationships as well. There may be a new beginning that could be happening. There could be endings, but I feel it's definitely more like a new beginning. It might be an ending, not necessarily like a separation, but more like we need to end off how we used to be, or what we used to saying to each other, and now we just need to like start something. If we know that this is going to be working, because I feel like the energy is like, let's just make this work, let's work through it. You know my bad side, I know your bad side, but you know, let's come together with that, and let's try and make this work, because you know we love each other. And this could bring even more intensity, but I think as long as everyone's like on the same page, it can definitely work. And also with Venus ruling not just relationships, but it's about finances as well. This can be a brand new beginning of this as well. It's not to say finances are going to be better now, especially in this country with all what's going on. There is a huge sense that things may be a little bit more tighter. We may have to tighten our belts. But we also can see that, again, there's a brand new beginning with this. Like, we can actually see that there's things that you are spending that you no longer need to spend on. Even if some of you are finding you're rinsing through your purse or your wallet, these things are going to be of benefit to you. But you may not be spending as much. You may be buying the same thing, but finding a way to lower the cost in some shape or form. And, you know, Venus ruled by beauty as well. So there can be a brand new beginning of beauty, a brand new beginning of, you know, beautifying yourself, but, you know, just not doing it in a crazy way, like overspending. Okay. It's sort of like getting back to basics, but still, I feel the intensity is still going to be there. So going back to like the first Scorpion decan, which we are going to be playing in, or you know what this new moon is going to be in, the solar eclipse is going to be in. It's very secretive, it's very mysterious, and it's ruled by, you know, it's very much Plutonic, very Mars. So there can be some stuff that we are going to be starting very quickly and also exiting very quickly as well. There can be a lot of shocks that also come with this as well. And let's not forget, you know, one of the reasons why Scorpions are one of the great, you know, when it comes to like any type of trauma, they really work with it. Even though they stick with it, they really do work with it. They're not really afraid of like death and the dark, or they really work with like the darkest energies that are going to be happening. And I have a feeling that when, even like before this eclipse happens, I feel like the sky is going to get more darker very quickly. I feel that we're going to start seeing lots of synchronicities that we didn't see before. We can also feel there's certain things that are going on within our bodies. We can feel actually more psychic as well. But also we can also feel more hurts, more traumas, more, you know, there can be an assertiveness of independence, but also sticking. There can also be, you know, even how we speak and how we communicate, that can really change. You know, look out, guys, how it is for at work, wherever you are in a professional sphere. Look how, you know, you're talking to people, or even how like you're in people who you work with, or even your bosses. Look how they are, because I feel that this energy can really change people. It can change us for the good or bad. It could also bring like a you know, like a new dimension, like what I said in terms of our relationship. We could be more drawn to people as well. There can be an obsession with people that we never even thought we'd be obsessed with. There could be obsession with our finances, an obsession with our partners, obsession with how we look as well. And this can cause greatness, but it can also cause some difficulties, because obsessions is not always great. It's, you know, if something needs to be moved on, we're still obsessed with it. That's when problems can really start. So really look out for those. But if we work with this energy well, because Scorpions, they're not just in the dark all the time, even though sometimes they like to. If you work with like the lighter side, we can transform ourselves. We can come out of the shadows of the dark. This energy is showing that we can be a success, like in our careers, also in our relationships, as long as we are opening up and know who we are opening up to. Because it can be a great suspicion that comes with this whole Scorpionic theme as well, especially like the other planets as well. I do tend to concentrate more on what the moon is saying, but the other planets like Mars in Gemini, and you know, you've got Mercury in Libra, they're also speaking with this too. So there's going to be quite a lot going on, even though there's not like, it's not majorly very crazily like how the other eclipses have been. Still, you know, the themes are coming up, and with this also is, let's not forget with the other themes of Scorpio, is that, you know, we are transforming ourselves to our highest good, to our better good. And we also have to find ways to do some analyzation work, working with some occult work as well, working with like that magic that we all have, that sometimes that we actually do forget. I've pulled out some cards. These are Scorpionic cards actually. I've actually put them out. I've actually spoken about them as well. They're very mystical, magical cards, and I actually love them. I don't work with them as much as I should. Before I talk about this, I actually forgot to say that it's at 2 degrees, if I didn't say it before, and the number 2 in the tarot is the High Priestess. So this is going to be playing out big time, because, you know, the card that we are all also working with is the Death card. And the High Priestess is the Cancer card. So we are going to be feeling very emotional as well. But this card is pertaining us to be also being, having some higher power, also creativity. It's also about mystery, which is what Scorpio is all about, mystery, mysterious, and spirituality. So I feel that is also definitely playing out big time with this. Like we can also, when I just said about with this Scorpio being in the first decan as well, which is very plutonic, is that I feel a lot of us are going to be feeling that our intuition and our senses are going to be very high, and also our sensitivity. So we do have to really pay attention to like our dreams and the signs that the universe could be sending us, or even like anyone could be sending us. It's like we're going to have this sort of like laser sharp focus in what is actually going on. And another thing I wanted to talk about is what type of like essential oils that you can work with during this like it could be for Scorpio season, but also Scorpio in general for this lunar eclipse. So the essential oils, again, you guys know I'm the lavender queen. I personally will definitely be using lavender for this, because it helps with sleep, it helps with lowering stress and anxiety, which a lot of us definitely could be feeling with this eclipse happening. It helps also with us just being more, you know, and you can use it like before you go to sleep in your bath, which I use a lot. Frankincense is also good. It helps with, it's good for meditation, going to that higher power. It's also good for purification. It's also helpful for us to let go of any like fears, anything that is blocking us as well. It's, or yeah, like I said, it's good, this, you know, because, you know, some, you know, with moons, full moons, we're not gonna, some of us may not be very energetic. We may want to really take it slow. So things like meditation and yoga, stretching, going for walks, keeping grounded, like keeping emotionally grounded, frankincense is really good for. And also patchouli is very good too. It helps, like, you know, some people say patchouli, I use it before I go to sleep sometimes, yeah, but some people say it's really good to protect your space, protect your aura. Another good thing is great to be saging, because Scorpio season and the moon is about protecting ourselves from energy vampires, protecting ourselves from any psychic attacks, protecting ourselves from harm, protecting ourselves from like the dark thoughts that could be coming up. So saging is really good. You can have like Epsom salt baths, but this is definitely about, we're going to be engaging in releasing, but also protection too. So these essential oils will really help with the grounding and the spirituality and the emotional grounding that we're going to be needing. So when we come to the card, the first card we have is Familiar, Guardian. On this card, you have a black cat with a frog. So what this is asking us is not to be afraid and know that we're not alone. We have to be really strong and call on things that you're actually familiar with. Some of us could actually feel with this full moon that there's certain things that actually, it's like a deja vu moment. We've actually seen it before. We've actually heard this before. So it's about looking for signs. Some of you may even look out for black cats. There may be a lot more black cats coming out. Because, you know, we are also entering, not exactly on the day, but we're also, it's going to be Halloween season. So don't be afraid to ask for what you need, but also just look out for, like I said, look out for like black cats, or even those black birds. They could be flying around as well. This card is also about protection as well. So some of us may be needing that spiritual guide because we may be seeking that, you know, protectiveness. And yes, so it's very it's actually a very telling card. You know, some of you could be actually being, because Scorpio is about the undead, the unseen. So there could be these sort of themes that could be coming up for you too. So again, familiar, guardian, you know, asking for help when needed, especially because it's going to be, some of us can be feeling this, the solar eclipse more intensely than others. The second card we have is hand fasting, which is union. So what this card for us means is that it's definitely very much a relationship card. You have two people holding hands and you've got two people jumping up in the air. So this for me feels like it's going to be a brand new beginning. It's a time of commitment as well, committing to something for the long haul, for long lasting, opening up more for commitment, opening up to transform your relationship as well. The two people holding hands, yes, it's for commitment as well, but I feel there's going to be more trust that a lot of us could be, you know, if you know you're in a relationship with someone and not one of you is not open, I feel the person that's not very open will start revealing things, will start revealing secrets. If some of you who are single, there could be like a karmatic pull to someone. I'm also seeing there can be some exes coming back as well. Remember, this is eclipses, so there could be exes coming back. Some of you could get back with an ex, some of you may not, but you may even see your partner, and this could also be like a karmatic purge of releasing of past hurts that you both had. The last card we have for this week is a theme, and it's called boundaries. And you know, Scorpio, it is about boundaries, but Scorpio can sometimes cross those boundaries as well. So a theme, my throat is very tickly, sorry guys. It's about a path. It's about different paths that we can take, and it's about really focusing on what is really important to us. So a lot of us could be doing a lot of energy healing work, knowing the past. Remember what I said about us opening up our intuition. With that also comes in seeing things into the future of where we need to go. So there could be some signals that could be showing us what is right, what is not wrong. This also is showing that, you know, some of us actually can be drained of what we're going to be feeling and seeing, but ultimately we're going to be going to the path that is right. And that is in all areas of our life. Okay, so again, like I said, really protect your energy, because these emotions and energies can be very intense. So that is the tarot for the general collective. And now let's get to the sign. So let's start off with Aries. So Aries, this is in your 8th house. Big, dark, deep 8th house. If any of you are last degrees Aries, you're definitely going to be feeling this. But because it's in your 8th house, it's going to be an emotional time. I feel a lot of you are... It's a brand new beginning, actually, to be paying off any debts, loans that you have or you're working. I feel a lot of you will be getting rid of those, and also anything to do with like finances with your partner. But this is also a brand new beginning to working through any fears that a lot of you have, and a lot of these fears I feel definitely is concerning like your relationships as well. And you know, but this, you know, I feel that some of you, well, the energies I'm feeling is that, you know, the energies of your relationships, it can, a lot of the communication can be uncomfortable, because there may be a lot of like brushing things under the surface, brushing things under the carpet. But these will come to the forefront now. And, you know, there may be some secrets also that come up that some of you are either burying, or even your partner is. But there's things also from like, I don't know, it could be like 18 years ago, it could be 30 years ago, that you may have to deal with on like a emotionally for yourself too. You know, you may be concentrating very much on your career because you don't want to deal with these things, but they're just going to be coming. So if you find it uncomfortable to talk to your partner, or it's great to be working with someone that does like cleansing energy work. Aries, if someone talks to you about anything to do with like spirituality, really listen, try and listen, because something can really pick up in your eye, in your ear, and you'd be like, actually, I might want to try that. So you might be trying something really different, especially if it's going to be cleansing anything heavy on your head, because you know you're ruled by the head. So yes, really work with that. This is a great time to be doing shamanic work, cleansing yourself spiritually, mentally. You may not be energetically ready to go out there and do all that eerie stuff, but this is just showing you this is what needs to be done, Aries. So, but your friends, I feel, can help. Your friends can really help you, Aries. They can come to your aid. They can really give you some really good sound advice, especially if it's concerning like debts, loans, or taxes as well. So the card you have is trees. So these actual tarot cards I have are like past spiritual life cards. So the trees card is showing me for you, Aries, is that it's time to get grounded, time to be being around trees, being around greenery. You may be wanting to continuously to keep busy, you know, because you may have to meet deadlines at work, or you don't want to deal with the emotional stuff. So in order to ground yourself, in order to balance yourself, being around greenery, going for walks in parks. If you are lucky to be live near a park, this will be great. Going for walks near parks, even hugging a tree. You could even talk to a tree, taking your shoes off, being in the earth, walking, because they may even give you messages. This is very much a highly psychic time, Aries. So listen to like the messages that are coming. And also your friends. Trees also feels for me about being grounded. So some of you may be making friends with people that are very grounding. But it's also showing me that you try and listen to what's being said as well, because there can be some important stuff that comes out that can help you in all areas of your life, whether it's emotionally, your work, you know, but especially when it comes to, you know, finances. And also this also helps you transform, and any fears that you have, these will be transformed. Taurus, this is in your 7th house, and also you're ruled by, you know, Venus. So it's not to say it's going to be a big walk in the park, but you are starting something fresh, something brand new. You're going to be really feeling this, especially you early degrees Taurus. And yeah, a new time. It could be a new commitment for a lot of you, a new commitment, new being open. Your mindset, I feel, could definitely change, but also about getting organized. if you Tauruses have been putting off date nights or putting off anything that can help you connect more to your partner, I feel this was going to be sorted out now. And because this is seventh, six signs away from your first house, this is to do with your health as well. So some of you could be starting like a new regime, or wanting to, thinking about it, and actually start making steps towards doing that. I feel this is going to be quite a busy time for some of you, because you're going to have to really restructure things. Restructure like yourself, your self-worth, your health and your body, but also your relationships. I don't feel like, some of you may feel that you have to sacrifice something in order to gain something. I don't think you do. I think you can make it work. You just have to sort of think about prioritizing the things that are more special, and the things that are not, i.e., you know, if you're obsessed with like money or your finances in some shape or form. Remember, Uranus is in your sign, so this is changing things up for you. So I feel that some of you may see this is the time where I need to sort of like, you know, put this first, and that is fine. And, you know, like, it's like, you know something's fine, but you still want to pursue it. The thing that is fine, that can be, you know, left a bit, and after you just pursue the things that are most important, things that are more close to your heart, especially with you're ruled by Venus as well. You know, I feel that if you're in a long-term relationship, there may be a bigger commitment. Like we do need to see each other more, and, you know, especially, let's not make excuses. We need to, you know, we need to do this. We need to go there. We need to try out something new. We need to more or less have a bit of fun, okay? Because some of you may be worrying about your finances. You may be worrying about where your income is, how much you're growing, if you've got a business as well. But with Mars being in your 12th house, this is showing a lot of you Tauruses. Some of you may be not making as much, but some of you are, you know, having that little side hustle, which really is helping you. You know, a lot of you Tauruses are very creative, and more so than ever, I feel that is actually coming out now. But it's about being organized, you know, putting things that are most important. So the card you have is vows. And vows is making a strong commitment. You know, some of you could be renewing your vows. Some of you could be making you know, if it's a long distance relationship, committing more, talking more, communicating more. I feel like some of you may be vowing to take care of yourself. I am, you know, I'm dedicating myself to be like my best. I'm going to, you know, do weightlifting. I'm going to go for dancing. I'm going to actually do it. Or, you know, you could be doing this with your partner. There's going to be some of you who are single as well. You know, you might be throwing caution to the wind and like, let me see what's out there. Let's try and do this. Let's go for it. And you can meet this person anywhere. So your relationship is very, very strong at the moment. But regardless of what your status is, things will change. And this also goes for contracts as well, business and personal. There could be you signing a new contract. Some of you, if you are working for yourself, you could be amending your employees' rights, and, you know, in a great way, obviously not in a greedy way. Come on, Taurus. Remember, Uranus is there. It's showing you different now. But there could be a lot of amending going on, and fairness as well, a bit more balance. So you guys are definitely seeking balance. But I think the vow is relationships, but it's also vowing to do the best you can and doing the right thing too. So powerful month for some of you Tauruses before the lunar eclipse goes into your sign. Gemini, how are you? So this solar eclipse is in your 6th house, okay? And this is to do with your work. A brand new beginning to do with work. And also you got Mars, which is in your sign as well. So this is really shaking you up. This is really putting a spin on things very differently for a lot of you. Some of you, you know, even if you look back 6 months ago, how was your work life? You know, some of you may have lost jobs. Some of you may have quit. Some of you may have retired. There was something that changed within your work and your health and your routines. Now we've sort of come back to that. It's a brand new beginning for it. So it's about starting fresh. It's about starting new. Some of you, there could be an obsession with some of you trying to find the perfect job, trying to find especially because Mars is in your sign. It's like, go time, let me do this. So some of you could be really revving and rearing to go, to be having that perfect job or being the perfect boss, or yeah, it could be a lot of that going on. But you know, if you're looking for a job or any type of job, and it's also all about money, it just won't work. I feel that some of you Geminis during this time will have to find something that is going to be making your mind some type of creative influences going on. Something that you could probably stick to for the long haul, okay? So this will be a great time to be doing that. And, you know, I feel that inspiration definitely will be everywhere, but I feel a lot of you will have to put a lot of work in terms of your health too. Because, you know, because Mars being in your first house, which is to do with the body, you could definitely burn yourself out because of the obsession that could be coming up with finding the right job or working too hard as well. Something will have to give. So you definitely will have to be looking at what you're eating, how you're working out as well. If you're doing the same thing, it's not working, it's time to look at something like 2 types of different workouts. You know, put in physical with the spiritual. So running with yoga, something with stretching. It's going to definitely be like that, because you want to be at your best. And eclipses are no joke in the 6th and 12th houses. They are Virgo and Pisces houses. So I feel that I feel that it's going to be very different now. Like before it may have been better, but now it's going to be like, if this doesn't happen, this can go. If that, I think you guys know the gist of what I'm saying. So really take care of yourself and your mental health as well. Some of you may even want to, there may be a time where a lot of you may be alone a lot as well, because there can just be too much things going on. And some of these things you may not be able to control like you used to. So the card you have is spirituality and religion. And Pisces and the houses of the 6th and the 12th of Pisces and Virgo, they are very spiritual houses. They are not easy houses as well. So I feel for you during this time, in order for you to get mentally strong, doing some type of spiritual work, whether it's reading, whether it's praying, whether it's meditating, doing any type of spiritual work, this card is showing will really help you. I feel that you may need to be spiritually more aligned, because a lot of things you could be thinking of, and I wouldn't be surprised if you weren't thinking of it, it could just be mostly for the material. So your body's calling you to be guided to be a bit more spiritual and seek some type of religion. It doesn't have to necessarily be church. It's just something that will just help you to just be a bit more grounded. Because these energies can cause some, like I said, obsessions, but also some frictions as well. So you are guided to have spirituality and religion for this time. Cancer. So I also forgot to say, Jesus Christ, Mercury retrograde, that the water signs like Pisces and Cancer, the earth signs Capricorn and Taurus, you guys will be, you know, more or less be fine with what's going on. You can be trined and sextiled. So yes, with Cancer, this is in your 5th house. So early degrees Cancer, you're really going to be feeling this. A brand new beginning when it comes to something to do with your children, creativity, the arts, gambling in any way, and physical fitness as well. So again, brand new time, Cancer. A lot of you may be energized to go. There could be conversations that come up to do with children. Some of you may want to become a new mom, or if you have kids, this might be a brand new time. You may be getting closer to your kids now. Some of you may decide that you want to start teaching, do some creative projects with children. This is a great time for it. And also having fun in your relationships as well, like dating. A lot of you who are single, some of you who are single, could be dating, you know, could be shining and people coming up to you asking you for a date, and you could feel a bit more luminous now, Cancers, even a bit more flirtatious. Even how you dress may change. You might be, some of you may be feeling a little bit more sexier, might be a bit more daring in how you dress, you know, wearing the, dyeing the hair red, or wearing like red lipstick, or, you know, red nail varnish. That type of thing could be coming up. Yeah, a lot of that could be coming up for a lot of you, especially with the conjunction to Venus as well. You know, if you're in a long-term relationship, things can turn a little bit more sexier. It could be a bit more open up, a little bit more honesty with each other. And even when it comes to like spending, you could give yourself some, like, you know, just promising yourself to just take more care of yourself. Like, I'm gonna have like these nice baths, I'm going to really pamper myself, I'm really going to be more creative. So I wanted to write, now I'm going to be doing that. Or I'm going to be, you know, I'm going to train to be a teacher, to teach children to be their most creative best. Or I'm going to, you know, make sure I have more time with my children as well. So it feels like a really great time that's coming up for a lot of you as well. But, you know, we've got the trine to Mars, which is in your 12th. So I feel more or less that this could be conjuring up more spiritual realms, spiritual dreams, like, you know, hidden wishes. You know, this could bring out the best in you, Cancer. This could be bringing out the, you know, there could be thoughts to do with the past, things that you've actually forgotten about that could actually be coming up now, and you may have not really thought about it, and you could be just shopping or something and it just comes up, and it could be something you've always enjoyed doing and you just start doing it. And, you know, listen out for your dreams as well, because these could also be bringing you some news. And, you know, so also another thing I do feel some of you Cancers is that some of you could meet people that you used to date as well back in the day. Okay, could be from 18 years ago. So yeah, listen out for that. It does feel very much like a bit of a more sexier time for a lot of you Cancers. So the card you got is Egypt. So when it says Egypt, some of you could be thinking of going to Egypt, thinking of somewhere long distance. Some of you could meet someone who's from Egypt as well. Or some of you could be being very inspired by looking at pyramids. The pyramids from Egypt could be inspiring you in some way. You may want to delve a bit more deeper. Some of you could have lineage in Egypt as well. Egypt card does seem very, not saying much, but really look at that. Look, and Egypt might come up as well. Egypt really might come up, but it could also be inspiring you in some way. You may want to write, if you're creative, you may want to do something about Egypt, that Egypt's involved. Or, you know, if you're a writer, like a romantic writer, the people could have met, the man or woman could have met in Egypt. You know, so really look out. Egypt's really saying to me as well that, you know, look out for the Egypt word, because that could be playing a huge part in what's going on. You know, some of you could holiday in Egypt as well. So yeah, listen out for that, Cancer. Leo, so this is in your 4th house of home, of roots, of family. So this is a brand new beginning. If you are July Leo, you're going to be feeling this very intensely. So brand new beginning for all of that, okay? And even I feel that your mind definitely could be expanding on what you would like to do in your home. You know, it could be communicating a lot more with your partner. Some of you could want to change your home, like may want to move, but you may want to move somewhere more closer to your parents, Leos. Yeah, think of it like that. There could be a lot of that going on. But also I feel a lot of cooking is coming up. A lot of you may start to be cooking more, cooking things that your parents used to cook you from when you were younger. And even how you dress as well, there could be a different type, a different style, a different way of dressing. With the trine to Mars as well, there is this huge, a different type of energy that's coming up. when it comes to like your goals as well. So if you're content with how things are with the past or with anything that is to do with your family life or your home life, this may change now. You know, I feel that there's something going on with a lot of you Leos that is changing things, and some of it may feel uncomfortable at the moment, but some of it will be, I feel like spiritually blessing you in some way. This is great to be hanging out with your friends, but it's not like going out. It's just like making them come to your home, and you're going to their home and you guys are just speaking and talking, especially if they're friends from like the past, especially if they are friends that are that you've known for a very long time. There could be a huge reminiscence that's going on, but still there could be some tension that goes on within the home, especially if you are initiating changes and your partner may not be happy. So of course communication is definitely key. But I feel that in the long term, especially for the next like 6 months, you know, there's going to be a lot of changes within the home. There could be neighbours that leave, or even you that leave. Or there could be changes within the whole family dynamics. So listen out for that. And the card you got is Angels. So I feel that this card is saying that a lot of you are spiritually divine, spiritually protected. You know, very much spiritually protected. Some of you may have seen angels back in the day when you were young. May have dreamt of angels. Some of you could be reading up about angels as well. Some of you could be talking to someone who actually may be an angel. I know that might sound a bit morbid, but yeah, it's very much an emotional connection. I feel that, you know, if you are, because I feel some of you probably will be connecting more to like your family. And if some of you Leos are very psychic, you know, you could be talking to like your mum or your auntie, and they could be saying, oh, but you know, your grandma was this and your grandma was psychic, or someone in the family was psychic and they actually saw angels. So that can be bringing a whole new different term in how you're actually seeing yourself and how you're actually feeling about yourself as well. Because again, this could be very much an emotional time. Some of you Leos may not want to do much. You know, you may have a lot of things going on, but you may want to just chill and relax and just think of things. And, you know, Jano, some of these things I feel that some of you Leos, when you do think a lot of these thoughts are going back to the past. Could be a past relationship as well. It could be like past hurts. Could be about about your mum as well. So Angels is saying, you know, you are definitely like protected. Anything that goes wrong, it will definitely be sorted out as well. But also listen to people that talk about angels a lot, because again, there's going to be lots of like synchronicities that come up, and you also Leos could be very emotionally heightened and have psychic leanings as well. Virgo, how are you? So Virgo, this is in your 3rd house. A great time. I forgot to say Virgos as well. Yeah, so Virgos and Capricorn. I think I said Taurus. But yeah, Virgos and Capricorn, you're going to have a great time. Again, like what I said in the beginning, that, you know, how we're speaking and that could be changing. So you Virgos, try and listen to that again. Because, you know, even how you communicate may be very more blunt, maybe on it. You know, your mind could be very like what you're seeing and what you're hearing. You could just really let things out. So this is with your siblings as well. So it could be a brand new relationship when it comes to like your siblings, or a brand new relationship, because you may move. You may also, you know, want to live somewhere that's a bit more quiet, or if you're living somewhere quiet, it could be somewhere more loud in the city. You could be discovering more about your siblings, and there could be a lot more communication. Or if there's any drama with neighbours, you could be communicating more with them just to ease that type of stress and tension. There could be a lot more of short distance travel that comes about as well. So, but also keep your eye on, you know, eye on the prize, but keep your eye on the road. You don't want any trauma that comes. But yes, but this is great for writing. This is great for blogging. This is great for starting like a new career concerning to do with the hands in terms of writing, journaling, journalism as well. Some of you may want to be a journalist, may decide that you have a lot to say and you may be thinking how you can fix the world in some way. And you just, you might just write a post and it just blows up. These things can definitely happen. So look at it like that. And even with Venus being in your third as well, this is giving you a bit more creativity. This is also giving you, some of you Virgos may be even very blunt, but some of you may be being a bit more charming in especially what you want, should I say. And yeah, it does feel like a great time to be doing something very creative and also learning. This is great for if you want to read those multiple books that you didn't get to read, Virgos. It's about time to start doing it now. And with Mars being there, trining it, with Mars trine, it's not necessarily trining the actual thing just because it's early degree. It's still like more or less in Libra. But it's great because if you are looking for something like a side hustle or even a new job, you can actually shine. You can actually shine. Confidence is definitely key. So there's going to be a brand new beginning for this as well. So yeah, a brand new beginning. So the card you got is Asia, the actual country. And some of you may be writing up about Asia or just doing research on Asia, may want to travel to Asia. It's funny that these country cards come up, but it maybe have something to do with what's going on. Yeah, you could be, if you're lucky enough to work in the radio, you could be talking to someone from Asia or interviewing someone or just writing about it and researching it. Or again, like I said, some of you may be moving there. This card is very much a spiritual card as well. So the third house is a very busy house. And mentally, because it's Gemini, you're ruled by Mercury as well. You could be mentally very busy and mentally not in control of what's going on. You could be mentally not knowing when to like I was gonna say pipe down. It could be that, but it also could be not mentally ready to slow down. So breath work, I feel, can help. A lot of breath work. Chilling, because Asia is a very is to do with the whole spirituality of medicine as well, and meditation. So even though Asia's definitely coming out in terms of what you could learn or what you're writing about, this card is also about you being connected to yourself spiritually and definitely your mind. So again, meditation, breath work. There's some videos on YouTube that can help you be more mentally grounded, because you may find that even though there are things that you're going to be doing, you could be very busy as well because new projects could be beginning. You may be spreading yourself out too thin. So taking that time to breathe, taking that time to connect, listening to those like bongs, those bongs, but also listening to the breath, because it can be very much a busy time for a lot of you Virgos. Hello Libra. So this solar eclipse in Scorpio is now in your second house of money. Okay? How are you making your money? Investing, agriculture, food, what we're eating. And because you're ruled by Venus as well, you could be feeling like things are going to be flourishing for you. Whoever is late degrees Libra is really going to feel this, because it's early degrees of Scorpio. It's on the 25th. So, and also some of the energies are in your, like you've got Mercury in your house, and, even though it's conjunct Venus, you're ruled by it. You've got the Mars in Gemini, so that's going to be helping you. It's also going to be boosting you. I feel that some of you find that, you could be finding investments a little bit easier. I feel that some of you could be learning a lot about stocks, bonds and shares, and some of you could be very cheeky and start moving money around worldwide, like far away. But I feel that some of you are going to be learning a lot more, and also learning how you can invest your money so that it can grow. there can be an element of you being very holding on too tightly to your finances, because you may be fearing like a loss. But sometimes when we hold on too tightly to things, we end up losing things anyway. So, you know, there could be people that come into your life now that can really help you. They can really open your mind to certain things. And I'm seeing like some Librans like sitting there just thinking. And the second house is to do with self-worth. So, you know, your self-worth is going to be playing huge dividends. And also the second house is the Taurus house. Okay. So, again, I feel things will feel like it's coming a little bit more easier. But still, being mindful of how you're spending, how much you're spending. You may want to splash out as well. But I feel if you are going to be buying anything, it'll be more to do with books and about stocks, bonds and shares, and learning about things, you know. So it's actually a nice one for you, especially because Venus is involved too, and also because you're ruled by Venus. Venus rules your 8th as well. So yeah, it could be actually quite an intense time. Like you know, how can I put this? It's great to be doing some nice food, cooking some nice food, coming outside your comfort zone, making some, not even necessarily fresh healthy, it could be fresh healthy food, but something more sensual for your taste buds, especially if you're in a very long-term relationship or you are dating. You also could be feeling a little bit more, very much more sensual as well, sexual or even sensual during this time. So, the card that you have is, where is it? Here we go. Ooh, you got karmic relationship. Ooh. So, a relationship could be coming back. Okay, and because a lot of this energy is in your second house, so it's the second and 8th house, and also because Venus rules your 8th house. Venus, the 8th house is the Plutonic Scorpion house. You could meet someone who could not only teach you when it comes to money or finances and investments, but you could actually feel that you've met this person before. And, or again, I feel some of you could actually see someone from your past as well that can actually help release fears in some way when it's concerning how you are when it comes to money, when it comes to like your self-worth, how you are respecting yourself. So again, look out, because I feel that a lot of people will be seeing past themes coming up because of the Scorpion energy. So look out for that, Libra, I will say, because it could actually be very much an intense time, especially because of the whole Scorpionic energy. So look out for that. Scorpio, the star of the show, especially if you are early born. So Scorpio, a very intense time about a new beginning, a very brand new beginning for you to be working on things that are holding you back in any way. This is a time for you to work on your relationships, working on your physicality, your body, working on your mind, and also working on your emotional state. I feel for you, Scorpio, if you look back on what happened 6 months ago, because it was the ending. So a lot of Scorpions who are last degree, and all Scorpios felt this, but a lot that were last degree, but generally in Scorpios, there was like this, it was an ending of, it may have felt like an ending of a cycle as well. Some of you could have done that whole inner work from the past 6 months, and there could have been some uncomfortable truths that you found out about yourselves, and there could have been lots of tears, tantrums, you know, that whole shadow side could have really come out, and there may have been a lot of losses. You could have lost a friendship, you could have lost, you know, because losses, it's many things. Losses is not just you walking, like kicking things or people out. It's just like, it was a natural loss that came. And because it was at the last degree, which is the Cancer degree, there may have been resistance to it, like holding on. And some of it could have been holding on just to be sure, or just holding on because, you know, you weren't really ready. After then, eventually, it just dissolved, whether you initiated it or just like the universe did it. So now we've come to like a brand new beginning. We've come from the Cancer energy to the Scorpio energy. So this is like the phoenix is going to be, the phoenix is getting ready to fly. The phoenix is getting ready to open up and start something new. The phoenix is ready to experience something new. The phoenix is ready to not give a damn. And it could be many things again. It could be you being that, remember the first degree is Pluto, and obviously it was traditionally Mars. So a lot of you, I feel, are going to be really revved up and ready to, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to fly. I'm going to transform. I've done all of that hard work, but now I'm going to, you know, I'm just going to be ready. I'm feeling I'm just going to be ready. But still, there can be some resistance as well. Because remember, you are fixed water. So emotions definitely runs very deep with a lot of you. You're going to be showing a more, there could be some of you showing a more controlled side as well, I'll say. Especially with the conjunction to Venus. If you are in a relationship, whether it's relationship with friends, or especially in a relationship with someone, it is like there can be a controlled, or if you are starting a relationship, there could be an element of control. Like you're probably just seeing what this person's about, or you're actually checking in with your own emotions to see how, if you can open up, because I feel some of you are actually ready now. And, you know, I feel some of you might meet someone who you have like a karmatic pull to. Or if again, like I've said before, I feel that there's themes that are going to come back from the past. So it could be a past relationship, and it could be across the board. It doesn't have to be like a specific, it could be definitely across the board in terms of a relationship. So, yes, and also even with the trine to Mars in your 8th house as well, it is a powerful time for you to, again, transform. But also there's going to be a bit of an honesty there. A big honesty. It's not going to say it's going to be very easy. Because even though this energy is not so harsh, you still, I feel a lot of you Scorpions still need to do that, work with that shadow side, because it can easily just spring up out of nowhere. And this is definitely to do with you trying to control, whether it's your emotions, control people. A lot of these elements I do feel will definitely come up, and it can put some people off. You as well, Scorpio, can get even more intense, whether how you're communicating, or you know, you could become on too hard, but you don't really mean to. It's just a natural thing. And also because this is the beginning of this is the first decan of Scorpio, you could be showing that whole scorpionic deep intenseness. But also, let's not forget, there could be you know, you showing a sexy side, because you're naturally sexy anyway. This is a sexy side. It is also a passionate side, a crusade side, a loyalty side, you know. So a brand new beginning for you, Scorpio. And the card you have is imprisonment or slavery. And what this means for me, for you Scorpio, is that, you know, some of you could be imprisoned. You can be feeling imprisonment with your holding on and your tightened emotions. You could feel that, you know, there is an element of people controlling you, or you're feeling controlled in some way, and you really just want to get out. When it says slavery, it's like you could be a slave to your dark side, okay? And I'm picking up, I can't help it, this is just the way I am, either take it or leave it. So I do feel that even though there are some great darkness that can come with this. There's still going to be that balance. You're going to have to be balancing your light and dark, and also taking care of yourself, because the first house is your physical body. So taking care of like the physical elements of yourself as well, taking care that, you know, you're not pushing yourself, because if there are loads of opportunities that come this month for this this eclipse, and I'm sure that there will be a lot of opportunities, you have to be mindful that you're not going too hard too fast, that you're neglecting your physical, emotional and mental self. Sagittarius, this is in your 12th house. So you got the 12th and the 8th house axis going on. And I felt when I spoke to your your opposite Gemini, they're going for the 6th house. So there's going to be some brand new beginnings with their career or their work life. With you, you're going to be retreating. You're going to be going within. It's a brand new beginning for you to be doing that. During, you know, I've even forgot to say for all the signs, but, you know, we have to look back 6 months ago when it happened in Scorpio, and it was you releasing things, and the 12th house is really great for that, to be releasing. So this is your aim, this is your dream, this is your goal, to be releasing anything that is like any type of like stuck energy. And now it's a brand new beginning for you to be getting in touch with your spiritual side. I don't think it'll be hard for you, Sagittarius, because you naturally are very much a spiritual sign. And, you know, you, Sagittarius, could be doing a lot when you are having that retreat. You could be reading something about spiritual. You could be meditating. You could also be conjuring up certain goals on the behind the scenes that no one knows about, only you. You could also be being around secret groups. Some of you could find love as well in a secret group. They could be very mysterious. They could actually be very Piscean. Okay, they could be very, they can appear really quiet. When you speak to them, they just open your mind and your world to all these like mystical stuff. And Scorpio, like Pisces, they're very mysterious anyway. So, you know, some Sagittarians may find they're not really seeing a lot of friends this month. They may not be seeing a lot of people that are close to them. Some of you may be not enjoying this because you may want to really get out there and, you know, strut your stuff. But this is a time of, you know, coming into coming into the self. There is still some stuff that you can do, Saggies. Maybe this is a brand new beginning to do it. You could, you know, if you're feeling like, you know, anxious in any way, you could decide you want to help the needy, or, you know, people that are less than, not less than, but people that are have less than yourself. You could be doing some teaching, investigating work. But essentially, I feel it is great to be taking care of your mental and emotional side. Grounding yourself as well, doing some meditation or yoga. Also do, like I said, doing some creative stuff as well. And you got the Mars, which is in your 7th house. So you could be doing it with someone. You could be doing it with a brand new partner. You could be doing it with your partner. You could decide that you just want to be at home more. You know, if you're lucky enough, where a lot of people are lucky enough to be working from home. In the beginning, you may have thought, no, I want to get out there, you know, talk to people. But now you might decide, I actually want to be working from home because I can have that time to myself. I can, you know, you can go for walks. You can be, you know, you may be feeling, you may, Saggies, be more guided to be around the sea more, you know, because the 12th house, especially with it being Scorpio, it can bring a lot of heavy stuff on the mind. And even though you're very jovial, optimistic sign, you might not be feeling that now. So rest is going to be very important for you. So you got the High Priest or Priestess. And this is showing me that it's about aligning the mind, the body and soul. This card is showing that it's about, you know, connecting to your spiritual side or connecting to people who are spiritual. or even looking for people who are like that. You could be learning a lot more about yourself, learning a lot more about releasing and letting go, whether it's through secret groups, friends, books, whether you're doing yoga or, you know, Pilates, meditation. I feel some of you could also learn a lot about your body, how your body works. You may not want to do nothing high intense. You just want to take things slow. So the High Priestess is like the higher mind as well. So you also could feel extremely more psychic now. And you're, you know, even when you're resting, because if you are doing a lot from home, it's good to rest. Take that time out to rest and relax, because a lot can come from your intuition at this time. Capricorn, this is in your 11th house, this solar eclipse. And we've got Venus there as well, which is really going to be helping you. You know, any of you Capricorns, this is going to be a good transit for you. You know, it's a brand new beginning for new friends to come into your life, new goals, new aims, new dreams, and also gains. And it definitely financial gains. If you are one of those Capricorns that have really got your creative juices flowing and you want to be around certain people that are aligning with you, this can definitely happen in a huge way, especially if you're early degrees Capricorn. You could really find your tribe as well. And they could be very emotional. They could be very, you know, it's like you don't have to say anything. They just know, especially with the conjunction to Venus as well. And this can also bring, you know, because you're very, like all the earth signs are very ambitious. You are the most ambitious, you know, you are very, always looking for like the best things in life. And sometimes the best thing in life are not free. And I think a lot of you guys know that. So this time you can see that, you know, I feel that your career will be on a major high. If you are aligning with that creativity that is going to be flowing, those creative juices that will be flowing. And also, you know, because I feel that a lot of stuff will come. Some of it may definitely come easily. Remember, this is a general. It's the time to looking at your schedule, restructuring things, like meeting this friend or that friend. And also if you're doing any marketing or if you're doing any work with different groups or organizations, you're going to have to restructure, because you can be, especially with Mars being in your 6th, you can be very busy, extremely busy. And take care of your scheduling, making sure you're scheduling workouts, eating healthily as well, especially if you're talking to all these different types of people and you're getting lots of inspiration, taking care of your health. And yeah, and keeping in contact with people as well, Saggies, not Capricorns, really keeping in contact with people. But it's still actually a good one. The card you got is health. You got the health card. So taking care of your health, like I said, is very important this month. Very, very important. You're going to be doing a lot of, you know, you're going to be very busy, Capricorns, very busy. I can see friends coming and some friends going. I can see you being more open to certain people as well. And I feel that some of these people can be extremely loyal as well. But when it says health, when the card is health across the board, mental, physical, and emotional. And like I said, when Mars is in your 6th, it can change up your routines. So you may have to restructure it, making sure it actually makes sense to you. So if you are going to a meeting one day, and if you are signing contracts one day, if you are meeting this friend or that friend, if you're going to be joining humanitarianism, if you're doing protests, you will have to really restructure. But your health, you know, scheduling, working out 3 days a week, going for walks, you know, doing breathing work, you know, all of these things are going to have to be put in there and be restructured, because it's a very busy time, a brand new time for this Capricorn. Aquarius. So this is in your 10th house. Okay, 10th house, the house of fame. Okay, yes, it's the house of fame. And, you know, if you're early degrees, if you're like January Aquarius, you're going to be feeling this. You know, we're going to see a lot of Aquarians out there. I can see a lot of you Aquarians being like, you know, remember Saturn's in your sign. And, you know, some of you may be feeling that you're not as out there like you should. You're not, you may not be like the head of certain organizations and groups. Even like your goals and dreams could be feeling quite stagnated in some way, because Saturn's making you do that heavy duty work. And with Scorpion in your 10th, I feel that there's going to be some job changes that can happen. But with job changes can be recognition. Some of you could be getting a promotion. Some of you could be getting a new job. Any side hustles that you bring, it can bring you to the forefront of things. And even with Mars being in your 5th house as well, this could be creative things. This could be things that are, you know, you're teaching like the younger generation. You're inspiring them as well. So this is like the world stage for a lot of you. And yes, it does square you. So there could be some conflicts between like your home life and your creativity, and also your, you know, your work as well. If you're working for someone and they're putting too much pressure on you, I feel that if you're not happy, now is really that time to just bounce. Okay, make that strong urge to bounce. And yeah, obviously communication really is key for a lot of you. I feel that a lot of you are going to be learning a lot more about what you are capable of and what you really want in your life and what you don't want. And if some people are not aligning, it's time to just more or less go it alone. A lot of you are not afraid to do that anyway, and I feel you're going to see that this time. Really, truly see that. So like, it's like go your own way. Make it. It's about your happiness as well. So yeah, a lot of good stuff can come from this. You know, remember, it's a brand new beginning for you. All you fixed signs are going to be feeling this. And the card you have is leaving or travel. Okay, so a lot of you could be leaving a job, or, you know, making travel with the conjunction to Mercury in your 9th. This is expanding your mind big time, really expanding your mind. So, you know, wherever you are in your career, you could be traveling. Your boss could say, oh, you know what, now that things have changed, we're in a new world, you know, a lot of people, you may have to travel more. You may have, you know, to meet like potential clients, and you'll probably be up for it. Or you may decide you just want to leave, you know, because it's about, you know, especially when Pluto goes into your sign, this is about independence when everyone works. So you may be like the first person to do it. You could be some hesitation. It could be, oh, but my family, blah, blah, blah. But you have to do what your mind is saying, because you're very mind-based. So this does feel like, you know, things can very much be up in the air. But you did a lot. I feel there's a lot of decisions that you'll have to make in terms of your career, and your choices. And no one can make their decisions but yourself. And even with the conjunction to Venus in your 10th as well, you know, if some of you are single, you could fall for someone at work. Definitely fall for someone at work. Or you could fall in love with your job. You know, but I do feel that some money may actually come in. Like if you're getting promoted, you know, money may come in. You may have to put a lot of work and effort in as well. But, you know, the end game, if you love it, things will start to flow basically. So the leaving or traveling is showing you there's some decisions you're going to have to make, Aquarius, but for your happiness. But don't forget, if you have a family as well, that you have to consider them as well. And you may be very surprised, Aquarius, that they may want to join you as well, because how things are now, people are leaving and traveling. Okay. Last but not least, we have Pisces. For Pisces, this solar eclipse If you're early degrees Pisces, you're going to feel it. All Pisces will feel it. But if you're early degrees, like if you're February, you're definitely going to be feeling this. This is in your 9th house. And this is a house of higher learning, the law, courts, publishing, spirituality, your belief systems. There's a brand new belief systems game that is going on for you. And again, looking back 9 months ago, well, it could be 9 months, but looking back 6 months ago, some of you Pisces, especially you late degrees, you could have been wrapping up certain beliefs that you didn't really believe in now. There may have been a loss of, you know, loss of things that, you know, if you was writing, or if you were like studying, or if certain person that you was a mentor, you could have just let them go because it no longer aligned with you, and you probably felt no way as well. Probably felt, you know what, this has to go. I'm not feeling it. It needs to go. And it may have been a natural dissolvement, but now it's a brand new beginning, because you may have learned a lot of new things during those 6 months, and now it's a combination of things that you've learned, written, studied, and now it's like, I'm going to be doing it. So again, this could be some of you deciding to be lawyers, judges, mentors. Some of you could go back to higher learning, going back to college. It doesn't really matter. If you're feeling insecure, Pisces, it doesn't really matter how old you are, as long as you're putting the effort in. So if you want to, I don't know, if you're in your 60s and you decide that you want to go back to college, go. If you're, I don't know, if you're in your 20s or in your teens and you decide that you want to do this course, do it. Now's that time. And even if you are a creative person and you think, oh, just do it, because the 9th house is to do with publishing. So I feel some of you, and also I know it's not easy for a lot of you Pisces, because, you know, Saturn being in your 12th house is not giving a lot of you an easy ride. It's making a lot of you may not want to do anything, or you're just coasting, or you're doing little bits here, there, you know, you're working. Some of you could be doing like the inner work, or some of you could be helping people, but some things have been forgotten, or, you know, you're doing too much spiritual stuff and then you're not doing the one you want to do. That's what the 12th house is about. The 12th house is like doing it, not doing it. It's a mixture of all things. But now this is a beginning of the 9th house. And, you know, especially with Venus being there as well, I feel that you could actually fall in love with whatever you want to study or learn to do. And, you know, Pisces, don't give yourself a hard time if there's certain things you want to study, you haven't done it. You know, we all have our time and our time limits, and this may be now for you. This may be in 6 months. So it's all about making little steps for it. Some of you are single. You can meet someone from a different culture, creed. Some of you may travel, like decide to like just travel. Some of you may decide you want to write, so you could get a new job as a travel writer. Some of you may be starting to write, and you could begin of getting your book published. Although I do feel maybe self-published. Learn like a new language or a course. Gaining new mentors. Surrounding yourself with people who are very different to you. This is a brilliant time for that, Pisces. So it's funny because the card you got is scribe or writer. Okay. So if there's any confusion that's happening now, Pisces, it's really great to write your thoughts down. Remember, this is the 9th and 3rd house that's happening with you and Virgo. So when it says scribe or writer, scribe or writer, you know, like I said again, with Saturn being in your 12th, it's not easy. You know, you may have wished or want to do things that's not really worked out because you're probably just too tired. Little steps, Pisces, little steps. When Saturn goes into your 1st, with these nodes there, you're going to be seen on the world stage. And I feel that the more little effort that you do now, it can grow bigger when Saturn goes into your sign. So I feel that there's inspiration you're going to be gaining here. You're going to be learning so much. Your mindset is really going to be changing. Old things are going to go, and then brand new stuff is going to be coming in. So keep your eyes open to be inspired, I'll say, for you Pisces, okay? So guys, that was the tarot for all of the signs for this solar eclipse in Scorpio. Thank you guys so much for listening. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and check out my podcast and check out my other videos. And also feel free to let me know how this solar eclipse has gone for you all. Like I said, it's going to be easy for someone, not easy for all, but still, you know, we can always work with this scorpionic energy. So guys, once more, thank you so much for listening, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care. Bye.